actually right. So, so I was just put some simple stuff together. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for coming again. My name is Michael Solomon, and I'm going to talk about how to verify the truth that we know. And I'm going to go on the assumption that most of you, excuse me, I'm trying to find my remote. There it is. I'm going to go on the assumption that most of you are aware that we live in enclosed cosmology, meaning flat Earth was a dome. Okay? So what I'm going to do is go through an introduction first. How many people were here yesterday? Okay, great. So I can skip a lot of stuff. I did one part yesterday talking about credentials and stuff like that because a lot of people ask me that, who are you? All right, so I put that up there. So I'm going to speak through that. If anyone wants to see that in detail, all of this is recorded. My presentation is terrestrial and celestial verification. Learn how to verify what we are taught about the world and beyond. So we know we live on flat Earth. We know it's covered with a dome. We know these things. We know there's no curvature. Blah blah blah. But how do you show people? How do you show people the evidence of that? So what I want to do is basically just let loose with this. Because usually I'm beating around the bush, blah blah blah. I'm trying not to hurt people's feelings and being all careful and all that. So I don't want to do that today. All right. So let's start with some truth claims. So we have here our glorious Earth. We have our spinning ball where we all live, right? Okay. So this is what we're taught from day one, that we live on a spinning ball and the water stays on it and everything, even though it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour. No, we do not. We do not live on a ball. The Earth is flat, covered with a dome, supported by covered with a dome, supported by columns, just like what Scripture says. And most of this can be proved. All right. So now we go to the greatest achievement of mankind, where we actually landed on the moon. How awesome is that? Where these guys they played golf and they picked up rocks and they planted the flag. It was just awesome. Never happened. All right. They did not land on the moon. They cannot land on the moon. It is not a floating rock. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. So now here we have our glorious solar system where the sun is flying through the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, the fastest speed of a bullet, and dragging all the planets behind it. We are a speck, living on a speck in a backward solar system. Solar system does not exist. The planets are not something you can land on. This certainly isn't happening. Looks great though. Okay? The animator, I applaud him. Yeah, that's my sound. That's Bob. Okay? But the animator is awesome. Okay, I love that animation. That's actually version 2. You should check it out. Alright, now we have a giant cosmos. It's ever-expanding infinite cosmos. That means there's aliens out there and they're coming to get us. Alright, eventually they're going to come, they're going to discover Earth, and they're going to attack us and kill us all. Alright, it's just a matter of time. Nope, not going to happen. Ever. There are no aliens. Why? Because there's no place for them to come from. Okay, so the little green man or the Pleiades or whatever, they're not going to get us. You have all these celestial objects flying throughout the cosmos, and eventually we're going to get hit. And when we do, it's going to be nasty. All right? Count your days, you're all going to die. So this is going to happen to the Earth eventually, and it will be the extinction of mankind. Because if there is an ever-expanding infinite cosmos, logically, So one of those rocks is going to hit us, okay? And that's what's going to happen. No, it's not. So when you hear the scientists or anyone else says it's coming, these rocks are coming, you all know, nah, that's not going to happen. Because there is no space. It doesn't exist. If there's no purpose on the earth, logically, there is no space. All right? Again, great animation, though. I can tell you how you did this. Procedural effects and everything. Okay, so this puts to bed all of this. Okay, we don't have to sweat it. We don't have to be worried and terrified and all this stuff and become preppers because the asteroids coming. All right, it's not going to happen. So the question is, how do we prove that? All right, how do we describe to our loved ones and other people that are not awake? How do we prove to them that all of that is a lie? All right, so let's start with scientific method. Create hypothesis, measurement and experiment, collect data, formulate a question and modification of a hypothesis, which I don't like. All right, once you collect the data, that's what it is. The scientific method has been kind of messed up over the years. I prefer the synthetic method, where you formulate the question, perform experiments, collect data, draw conclusions, does not speculate on what the answer might be before testing it out. All right. In other words, what you see, what you experience is it. So we're told that we can't trust our senses, which is a total lie. Okay. I mean, when you're crossing the street and stuff like that, I mean, you trust the senses, right? Every day. But supposedly, when we're examining all of this, we're seeing nothing but illusion. The secret mantra of science is don't believe what you see, believe what we say. Okay? And that's what I'm totally against. Okay, let's keep this in mind. Unfortunately, this volume is horrible. Size, distance, and time has no effect on physics. This is important to know because what they tell us is light and all the other phenomena in our creation act differently based on what science comes up with the math and all of that. But what we experience actually works everywhere else. So like fire. Fire as a candle is the same as fire in a bonfire, is the same as fire in a fireplace. It's the same thing, only bigger. So they all share these traits. Fire burns, consumes oxygen, produces light, radiate heat, create smoke, extinguish with water. All of these are exactly the same. So size, distance, and scale has no effect on physics. Keep that in mind through this. Okay, so I'm going to speak through this. A lot of people ask me, how can you challenge science? What's your position? First of all, you don't need it. The world was created to be understood. Okay? Yahweh created the world so that we can understand what it is, so that we can further appreciate Him, His glory and power. So you don't need a PhD or whatever. All right? But for the center, this is a gentleman who sent a letter to me, and I'm making a point here. He is he's a producer and a director. What he was, he retired, but he created a lot of effects that science says we can't create. Okay, and he created them in a studio, and that's what convinced him long before we came up with this that the Earth was flat. All right, so he sent me this letter in Facebook. I have it on the Canon Quest Facebook page, so if you guys want to read it.
Read it and brainstorm session.
Okay, I thought I'd turn that down. I'm an animator. That's my wife. And illustrator and photographer. So I use those skills. The skills to do that is light control, composition, perspective, perception of 3D environment, color theory, spatial relationships, sense of timing and spacing. I must have the skill to predict results while experiencing and working in the world around me. So I can predict what's going to happen when I hit that shutter release, when I create that animation. Those skills give me that. So those are my credentials. All right, let's go on. All right, so let's go. Okay, we're going to do celestial. We did terrestrial yesterday. How can we prove that all of this is really cool fantasy? All right. Now, I still like sci-fi, but I realize this is all fake. Like Harry Potter. All right. So I still watch it because it's good storytelling, it's good writing, and so I'm okay with that. But I just no longer believe it could be real. Okay. So when trying to prove the reality of enclosed cosmology, modern science can be a great help. It really can. All you must do is recognize the contradictions and impossibilities. NASA can be your greatest ally because it's really fly. Okay? And once you see past that, it's like, whoa, I never saw that before. So let's start with corpuscular rays. I'm not going to go into this in detail. I did that yesterday. Corpuscular rays, the sunbeams that you see coming down through the clouds. This is a really excellent evidence to help people realize where they live. This is NASA's view of corpuscular rays. They say that corpuscular rays are really horizontal light beams coming down, and what we're seeing when the beams spread out is just an illusion. All right, so this is what they say is actually happening. Yeah, this is actually happening, but these aren't rays of light; those are shadows. Okay, and also this is just a high altitude photograph when the sun is at a sharp angle to the clouds and it creates long shadows. That's all it is. Okay? But they're saying it's something else. So here's another view of it. Alright, so this is in Maui, Hawaii. In order to create corpuscular rays, they say that you actually have to have perspective. What you're seeing there is perspective. Okay? And just like when you see railroad tracks. I went through this yesterday. But perspective is point of view dependent only. You cannot see those railroad tracks descending into, converging into the distance unless you are right in line with those tracks. Okay? So, but yet, the viewer is nowhere near. In order for perspective to work on corpuscular rays, you have to be directly under. Okay? You would not see that. So, perspective has nothing to do with corpuscular rays at all. Alright, this was shot yesterday. Right there out there on the beach. So, as you can see, I'm standing on the beach. I'm not in the water directly under the ray. Okay, I sped it up a little bit to show how cool it is. And that was a cool scene. It's on the light. You need an obstruction, which are clouds, and you need a particulate, which in this case is probably mist. Okay, or fog, a little bit of fog. And so that's what creates corpuscular rays. By the way, I don't know if you noticed it, but the sun, when it was up here, was larger, and here it's a little smaller. Because the Earth is not rotating, the sun is actually going away from the Okay, so the corpuscular rays prove the solar system does not exist. Because if the sun is in the midst of the clouds, then that means it's in our air. According to scripture, it's under the zone. So without a sun to keep all these guys flying around, there is no solar system. Alright? The earth is geocentric. Okay? So corpuscular rays also prove that the earth does not move. Alright? The sun does the moving. The sun is not millions of times larger than the earth, but much smaller than the earth. Or else it wouldn't be that close. And if it's in the midst of the clouds, if you saw that there, if it's in the midst of the clouds, it's really close. Okay. A light source close enough to create corpuscular rays cannot be 92 million miles away. Because in order to create those rays, you need a close light source to their structure. Very close. Alright? So it can't be 92 million miles. The sun is not a giant radioactive burning ball of hydrogen. Or we'd all be dead. Because it's so close. Matter of fact, a little test here. Next time you feel the heat from a fireplace, and then feel the heat from an electric heater, if you notice, it feels different. It's still hot. But a fireplace and an electric heater, there's different types of heat. And this is just a speculation for me. The sun kind of feels like the electric. Okay? It doesn't feel like So, that's something to think about. Okay, so this is pretty cool. I don't have a pilot, but they were freaking out because they were flying above the clouds and the sun was under the clouds. And they were like, that's not supposed to happen. I mean, you should have seen them. They were looking at the camera. And they were smiling. They thought it was way cool, which it is. But the sun is under the clouds. Now, somebody actually told me, no, it's just at the horizon. No, there's the horizon right there. There's the sun right there. Okay, so just deal with it. It's under the clouds. You know? So, if the clouds are interacting with the sun and the moon, there's a video to show that, they must be local light sources. The sun cannot be 92 million miles away. The moon cannot be 239,000 miles away. And besides, can you see 239 miles away? Okay, come on. You know, unless y'all have Uber, I know I don't. All right. So man's sight is near infinite. That's what science says. They demonstrate that we can see in the cosmos. Okay. Oh, you see that square around there? That's not going to happen. And this is from the Hubble. All right. And I didn't know the Hubble was a zoom lens. I thought it was just fixed focal length, meaning just one focal length. But clearly, zoom lens. I didn't know that. So according to modern science, we can not only see the sun at 92 million miles and the moon at 238,000 miles, but we can actually see this galaxy 13.26 billion light years. And that's it. Is that not a beautiful picture? Okay. Oh, by the way, 1 light year is 6 trillion miles. And that thing is 13.26 billion light years. And they can actually see that. Okay? So here's a shot I took with P900. Oh, and I'm going to mix a little photography in this because I'm guilty of not teaching enough photography to this group. So I kind of squeezed it in here, okay? So this was shot with P900, 2000 millimeter to 50 millimeter at ISO f11, okay? And that gives me more depth of field. So I shot this. I'm sorry, that's not supposed to be, that light that's supposed to be on. So I'm zooming out. As you can see, I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, it's gone. So I was just doing some exposure notes there. But that's the exposure I used. If you notice, the water was extra choppy at the 2000 millimeter. That's called telephoto distortion. It compresses perspective. And that's why the waves look choppier. They actually aren't. It just compresses the perspective. That's one of the reasons why telephoto lenses look important. Okay, so we have here a view from, I can't pronounce that. But they're showing it out here. Okay, this is the world record for a long distance shot. You see the exposure details here, and they actually use a bridge camera. Now, the P900, the official camera of Flat Earthers, is the P900 and P1000 is a bridge camera, meaning it's a DSLR, but it has all the lenses built in. Okay, so this world renowned shot was taken with a bridge camera. Now, this camera's top focal length is a Ultra 1200 millimeter. Okay, but they were able to shoot the Alps. Let's see. This is 240. Oh, thank you. 275 miles. Okay, and no distortion. Because if there were, this would be inverted under here, and it would be kind of ethereal and wavy. There's no distortion because they're higher up, and it's colder up there, and so you don't have a thermal layer to cause that distortion. So what you see is what you get. 275 miles, and that's going way under the curve. All right, get it now. So now, eyesight. What can the human eye see? Now, according to science, we can not only see trillions of miles, even when we're looking in our backyard, looking at stars, we're seeing stars that are trillions of miles away, but we can actually see back in time. Do you know that? Okay, when we see those stars, we're literally seeing back in time. All right. I don't know about you, but I can't read a license plate 2 houses down from here. Okay. But we're supposed to have time machines in here. All right. So just to show that, this is our street. Okay. So I just printed a license plate. That's the real size of a license plate. And then I'm gonna walk back. I edited it a little bit. So we'll have to sit and watch this. So all right, you can read that a little bit, right? That's 1 house away. All right, 1 house away. So then we go here. That's 2 houses. All right. It's getting kind of bad. Some of you have better eyesight than I do, but that's not gonna happen. That's house 3. Okay. So if we can't see that, all right. So basically, our Uber eyesight is only effective in space. I don't know, So, all right. So the human eyes do not have the ability to resolve images beyond the perspective convergence point. Okay. So resolve meaning detect an image beyond the point that perspective converges. All right. Even with a long lens, you can see more, but there's still limits, and it can't go beyond that point. Okay, even with increased elevation or optic enhancement, meaning long lenses, binoculars, telescope, our sight is limited to hundreds of miles, not trillions. All right, so that deals with the eyesight thing. Okay, sorry, you don't have Superman sight. It's just not true. All right, let's deal with vacuum versus the atmosphere. This is a really good celestial proof of where we live, or the non-existence of space. So you have here the Earth, the atmosphere, and the vacuum of space. Okay, so the infinite vacuum of space exists adjacent to Earth's atmosphere. What we're talking about is a pressure system existing against a non-pressure system without a barrier. All right. They say that's what exists. Okay, look at this. You have all the different layers of the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. And then pop out into space. Okay? So, by the way, a vacuum is approximately 10 to the minus 74. What that means, vacuum is measured in torque, and in outer space is the most extreme. We're talking body ripping, blood vessel exploding death. All right? That's what this is. Okay? So what they're saying is the Earth's atmosphere exists adjacent to that, and that is infinite. The size is the ever-expanding infinite cosmos, which is a contradiction of terms, by the way. Ever-expanding infinite singular. Okay? You can't have both. So that's what they say. That's how we keep the atmosphere. I mean, they say gravity holds it down, but we'll deal with that. How does mankind deal with extreme pressures in order to stay alive when they're exploring? A submarine is a very good example. A submarine is in the reverse, but it still works. So what a submarine does is it protects their crew against the pressure of the water, which is basically the weight of the water going down on the sub, pressing on the sub, okay? You need a solid barrier to protect the pressure in here from the pressure out here. Man needs 4.7 psi to exist. That's why we all don't explode. Okay? So the Earth is 4.7 psi. So that's what's in this sub. And this pressure here is crushing pressure. Alright? Submarines are designed to protect the crew from crushing pressure. Alright, now, this is the ISS. Well, not the ISS, but this is what it's made like. Okay, this is a 747. Okay. So 747 fuselage, and you see how thin the walls are. All right. So then, this is how a sub is made. Okay. So it has multiple layers, and you see how thick these layers are. That's to keep them from all dying horribly. All right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about dying. Okay. Space is literally unsurvivable. So in order to deal with the crushing depth of underwater, these guys can go pretty deep. All right, you need this hull. You have to have a barrier between your pressure system and another pressure system. or in space it's a pressure system and no pressure. You have to have a barrier, okay, in order for it to work. There is no other way. So I took some video of, hear that? Okay, it doesn't sound thin, does it? This is a submarine in Cleveland called the USS Cod, and they kept it to its original design. It's really fun to go into. Okay, I've been there like tons of times. My sons and I love it. So then you have the hatch. All right, you remember this one, right? The floppy hatch. Okay, isn't that a hoop? All right, so this is supposed to protect him. So he has to depressurize. I mean, he has to pressurize that chamber when he gets in that chamber, and he, what is that, made out of cardboard or something? I don't know what that is. Okay, but here is the hatch from the USS Cod. Now this is an old electric World War II submarine. Look at that thing. Okay, that's what you need to protect against pressure, extreme pressure variance. That's what you need right there. There is no other way. Cardboard doesn't cut it. Okay. Listen, that's thick, man. Okay, and I had to knock it. It hurt. All right, but I did it anyway because I had to do it. I did that for you guys. So then, okay, drop. Okay, this is a concrete. Now, this is a Mythbusters. I know they're not very nice to us. All right, but they make great videos. Okay, this is to show you what a vacuum does. Okay, it's kind of in reverse, but it's the same thing. So this is a concrete block dropped on a tanker from 30 feet high. See how powerful that is? Try dropping that on your car. Okay? Just look at that. It just made a dent. Okay? So then they just wanted to show how powerful it was. Okay, so that just shows you how strong that tanker is. Then they sucked all the air out of it and created the vacuum within the tanker. That's insane. Okay? So that's because the pressure inside was totally negative to the pressure outside, and it just crushed it. Okay? So let's look at that again. Here's another one. I think this was done in Russia. Okay? That's insane. Actually shook the camera, you know. All right. So so in order to survive that type of crushing deadly pressure, we have a suit here that's made of cloth. Okay, the spacesuit is a complete farce. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. Whoever created this is very talented. All right, and these are very cool. I mean, great sci-fi. But and I like the controls here too. But we got what? How many layers? Okay, so a spacesuit arm has 14 layers of material to protect the spacewalker. The liquid-cooled and ventilation garment makes up the first 3 layers. One top of the garment is bladder layer. It creates the proper pressure for the bodysuit materials. We talk about that. Include all this other materials they have here. So the suit keeps in that 14.7 psi pressure. The problem with that is space is constantly trying to pull it apart. So you need more than a bunch of cloth from joined fabric in order to protect you from 10 to the minus 7 torque. Now, what crushed those tanks was not 10 to the minus 7 torque. It was much less. Okay? So, because it's very hard to make 10 to the minus 7 torque on Earth. You have to suck the air out, then you have to use chemicals to get a lot of the remnant air out. And it's really bizarre, but you still can't get 10 to the 7 torque. It's close, but you don't get it. So, a pressurized suit made of layers of paper thin cloth and small metal parts cannot possibly serve as a barrier against the massive power of approximately 10 to minus 7 for a vacuum of space. The vacuum will pull the suit apart. All right. So this is impossible. It's not people. Well, maybe no. You saw what happened to the tank. Okay. So, all right. If that suit really works, then why don't they practice it in the environment they're going to be working in? If you're a race car driver, you're not going to practice driving a race car by sitting in your lounge chair at home with a PlayStation controller. Okay? No. You're actually going to go out on the road and practice on the track, right? But no, they don't practice in a vacuum chamber. So the Space Power Facility and NASA Glenn Research Center in Ohio, vacuum chamber. It measures 100 feet in diameter and is powering 122 feet. This is where they should be practicing, okay? Because they have to deal with that deadly lack of, well, not lack of pressure, but negative pressure, all right? But instead, they go swimming, okay? And they practice in a giant pool, impressive pool, but it's not going to prepare them for 10 to the minus 7 torque. All right, not to mention the heat and cold variance and the radiation and all that stuff. This is a complete farce. But they say, well, it mimics the lack of gravity. That's not your worst problem in space. Floating around is not your worst problem. Okay? So they should be in a vacuum chamber, but they're not going to do that because they don't want to die. I mean, you would lose that shit, that's real. Matter of fact, no one would actually go for the job, actually. Right? They did it one time, and there's a video online. I need to find it. Hopefully they didn't take it down. They actually put an astronaut in a vacuum chamber, and he almost died. You should have seen it. It was quite traumatic.
Passed out.
Yeah, he passed out, and he said his blood started, his tongue, saliva started to boil, and his head just went doing all like this, and he just fell out. They almost killed him. Okay, that's why they can do that. That's why they do it. All right, it's it's just employment. I mean, you would kill all their employees. Okay, instead of astronauts practice in a giant pool. All right, so a vacuum cannot exist adjacent a pressure system without a solid barrier between them. It must be strong enough to resist explosive decompression. That's the ISS. That's what should be happening. They should be blowing up. Okay, not to mention the other stuff that can happen to them. We're going to talk about that. Okay, the moon. All right, so this is where I squeeze in some photography. So I shot this with P900 2000 millimeter at 100 ASA at 3.5 f-stop. Okay, so the moon is 239,000 miles from Earth. The moon reflects the sun. This is what science says. All right. So basically, the light, the even lighting you see here, is all about reflecting the sun. So we got talcum, gray dust. The consistency of talcum powder can reflect the sun with that much efficiency. We'll look at that. So, and this is just another photo I shot just before we came here in our driveway. And these are the specs, and it was shot at 5 p.m. It was still pretty daylight, but and I shot that handheld. So the P900 and the P1000 does a great job. And these are the exposure controls here. And there is one mistake here. I use a pattern meter. It's a meter that meters the whole scene, like here, and gives you an average of it. I should have used more accentuated meter, okay, which actually would have given me a reading of the light about here, okay. So that was actually a mistake, but I kept that in there because I want to show you guys that there was a better way to shoot this. But you see the details and everything. But these are the numbers you need to be concerned with when you're shooting. F-stop, shutter speed, ISO. Learn how those work together. I'm going to do some videos on that. Okay, and this was a star I shot last night. My wife and I got back to the cabin and we were exhausted until I looked up. And I was like, whoa, because where I live, you don't see that, you know. So I shot that with okay. So we have here these are the settings I use 3.5, 1/30 of a second for this video, and I was trying real hard to keep that baby still. I had to actually hold the camera like this, like that, okay, in order to keep it still because number one, when you have it fully extended, the camera has a lot of camera shake. Okay, so I keep it still, but admittedly, I was exhausted, and the mosquitoes were having a good time. So, but that worked out really well. So, okay, so this is the animation I created. When you're putting light, shining light on the sphere, you're going to get a specular highlight, and you're going to have what's called light fall off.
You did work for that.
You know, I can get rich that way. You know, I don't have to sell my soul, but I can get rich. So that's what should happen when you're lighting on a sphere. All right. So okay, so I'm just doing a simple test here. So right here you see, and I should have got my small light. It's kind of big for that. There's a light in a plastic bag in the back. So I'm going to show on a globe, you're going to have a specular highlight, and then the light falls off, and it drops dramatically. So I'm going to show you what that does. That's why you need more than one light in a room. If you notice the lights back there, they're pretty bright, but they're not coming up here. Why? Because that's called light fall off. So, here. So, okay. So if you notice, all right, you see how the light drops off dramatically. Okay, and you see that specular highlight, that bright highlight. That's how it works all the time. There is no difference. When you're lighting a sphere, that's what happens. When the light goes further away, that highlight becomes more diffuse. Okay, it's not as bright. When it's close, you have less fall off. All right, it's not as smooth and soft. Okay, that's how photographers do their job. They know how these lights work so they can predict the results. Okay, so and that's how it works. Period. There are no exceptions. So, okay, so we have here, this is the, I think that's the moon. And as you can see, the clouds are, this is going on to another group. The clouds are in the midst of, the moon is in the midst of the clouds, okay? Clouds are at a specific height. So if something is in the midst of it, that means that object is at the same height as the cloud. I mean, you know, what other way would you see that? Now, a lot of people say, well, the clouds are the brightness of this orb is causing distortion here and it's fading these clouds out. Look how sharp that is. Okay, nah, I'm not buying it. All right. So what I did was create this little experiment here in the studio. So I dropped the exposure down, okay? And as you can see, you see where the light ends with the cloud, okay? So then you raise it back up, raise up the exposure, and as you can see, the clouds don't seem like they're changing position, all right? It's just, it will wash them out, sure, but it didn't change position. This is not back here. Okay? Same thing. Alright, so the clouds are a little further away, but from the light source, but I'm changing the exposure and the clouds are not changing relative position to the light source. Alright? It does wash the clouds out, yes, but it doesn't make it look like it's behind it. Okay? the level of illumination has nothing to do with relative position. All right, so when people say that's an illusion, that's not true. This is the setup here. All right, just to show that was the setup. Okay, so you have my pseudo cloud here, and then the camera's here, and I use Nikon 7000 for this video here, which shot in 900. So cloud experiment set up. So then you have light intensity does not affect the appearance of spatial relationships. Okay, that's the whole point to this part of it. So you have this video is kind of slow. I should have sped it up, so we're gonna skip that. All right, so let's look at the characteristics of the sun and the moon. All right, this is moving on to another proof, which is color temperature. So, and this is stuff that you can do. Okay, I'm spotting out some terms here, but this you can do with this. Okay, so then we have the sun, color temperature is 5,500 Kelvin. It's a warm light, it's cooler in the shadows and it's white. Moonlight is 4,000 Kelvin. It's cool, it's warm in the shadows, it's warmer in the shadows, and it's bluish. Okay, those are only a few of the characteristics. If you notice, the moon characteristics are different than the sun, yet the moon reflects the sun. So then the characteristics should be the same. The light is dimmer, of course, because it's a reflection of the source, but it should have the same basic characteristics, yet it doesn't. The characteristics of reflected light does not differ from the source, ever. Okay? Therefore, reflected moonlight should be identical to the sun. Okay? So here's a little, I borrowed my granddaughter's teddy bear. I didn't tell her. So, she was scared. So, so then, as you see here, this is tungsten light, your average light bulb, and it's reflecting its light all over here. And tungsten light tends to be yellowish, or goldish hue. But then I white balance it, okay? And when I white balance it, all right, now the light around here, when I white balance for the tungsten light, all the reflected light is exactly the same thing. That's what happens. It's supposed to. Okay? So, white balance. So, I'm going to try this. How am I doing with time?
You're good. You're just holding everybody back from lunch.
Oh. All right, so I'm going to you can white balance. What I did was white balance the moon. That's where I came up with 4,000. Okay, the 4,000 is actually very similar to fluorescent light. Fluorescent light is actually almost the same white balance, the same color balance as the moon. Very interesting. Okay, so I'll probably not do this, but because I have more to show. That tungsten light and LED light. This is daylight balance. This is tungsten light. They're completely different. So what my point is that if a light source is different in its color balance from another light source, that means it's a different light source, which means the moon is its own light source. Okay, that's what it means. So you can use that proof while trying to convince people of the truth. Okay, so the range of light. All right, so the range of light through the vacuum of space is unlimited according to science. All right, so man's sight is near infinite. All right, at about 2.5 million light years, Andromeda Galaxy is the nearest galaxy to the Earth. There it is. Okay, they took a picture of that. All right. Now, what's interesting is the other galaxies is just nothing but pictures. See, what happened is they hired somebody like me to do that. Okay? And again, great work. All right? So, again, that's what 1 light year is. So, the full intensity from the light from the Andromeda Galaxy travels to Earth, making this photo possible. All right? So, the light has no fall off. Remember fall off? It has no fall off. And it travels this distance, okay, it travels that distance so we can capture that photo. All right, no fall off whatsoever. So this is what light fall off looks like. Okay, this is called the inverse square law of light, where as it drops off, it loses intensity very quickly. These are actually the f-stops you need to capture a well-exposed picture within the fall off zone. All right, photographers depend on light fall off. They know how it works, and we use it to our advantage. Each doubling of the distances, why do I have that there? This is the, man, I forgot why I have that there. I shot that for a reason. Okay.
For your aperture.
Yeah. All right, so light fall off, I'm not going to show you that. I was going to use that board and show you light fall off live, but basically the diagram did the same thing. That's what it does. Actually, you're seeing it now. The light back there, it gets, as you can see up against the wall, it's brightest back there, and as it gets closer to the screen here, it gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. That's called light fall off, and it is very extreme. So, that's another subject. So that's why stars, the only way you can beat light fall off is add in a new environment or a new phenomenon. Ergo, space. Once you add in space, you can do anything you want. Okay? But in creation, light fall off rules. And you cannot get around it unless you get a more powerful light. And you still have light fall off, just not as extreme. Lasers are more concentrated, yet they still have light fall off, but it's not extreme because it's concentrated light. But you still have to deal with it. Now, these are satellites. Okay, these are the amount of satellites that are traveling around the Earth. You saw the time scale there. So this is what's all around us right now. Okay, and here's NASA. They say this is what's surrounding us right now. So at present, NASA is tracking more than 100 million pieces of debris or space junk orbiting the Earth at speeds of 17,500 miles per hour. It's estimated that some of these are within that size there, okay, 0.4 to 4 inches. All right. So, okay, there are that many satellites, almost 5,000 satellites orbiting the Earth each day. Okay, satellites travel at speeds of 25,000 to 2,500 to 18,000 miles per hour at various orbit speeds and directions. So you got a mess up there. Look, they're all going in different directions, different speeds, different orbits. Okay, so the high-speed space debris and satellites are orbiting the Earth as a ballistic tornado. That's what I call it, a ballistic tornado. And because of that, okay, the ISS should be like riddled with a machine gun. All right, it should be ripped apart. Remember that one thing where one little micrometeor hit the ISS and popped a hole in it, and then the astronaut woke up and stuck his finger in it. Okay, that was a face insult. Okay, because he's like, this is anything. Oh, he should have died horribly. His arm should have been ripped right off of it. Yet he's Superman. Okay, so all the debris around the Earth, that proves a lot. Okay, you have here, this is what I call sex Earth. Okay, so you can actually still get this image on NASA. All right, so I love this image because it shows how much artistry NASA has. All right, so you have all these different Earths, and a lot of people say, well, that's just exposure and color balance. Sure, but the continents are not going to increase in size. Rob went over this yesterday. All right, so I love this image. So then you have this image here, which is my favorite, and it has actually sex written in the cloud, which is literally impossible. Okay, so then all you have to do is increase. Okay, I have radiation of that. Yeah, and you have to rotate. Thank you. You have to rotate it and then it will not be upside down. Right now it's upside down. So, ever expanding infinite cosmos, a contradiction in terms. This is what I thought when I was a kid. Space is a radioactive, burning, freezing cold, bullet meteors, airless, blood boiling, vacuum giant, flying rocks, crazy place. Who in their right mind would want to go there? I used to want to be an astronaut until I learned what space was. And this is when I was a kid. Now I still believe in space, but I'm like, what idiot would actually go there? Okay, so I was getting there. So the evidence of the truth was designed by God to be easily understood, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what one is willing to believe, truth or fiction. Not your view or my view, your truth or my truth. I hate that. Okay? It's truth or
Anybody have any questions
Yeah,
for him?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to let you know, I quickly looked up that video that you were talking about earlier about the astronaut who almost died.
Yeah.
I sent it to you on Facebook. If you were able to pull up and want to pull it up real quick, you
Okay.
can, or you can
Paul
later.
on the plane has it as well. He has it on his slideshow, so you can grab it from him
Either
too.
way.
Oh, okay. I can get that later. I don't want to hold anybody back. Sure. Yeah.
With all those satellites nowadays, take a picture of the Earth from space.
Not one ever. Okay. How is that possible? Not one.
And how did they get this shuttle through?
All of that.
Avoiding all of that.
It dodged it. Really, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and all those pictures of the different globes, these white balance from the clouds on each of those, shouldn't that give you the same color correction?
If you not really white balance, you will color correct it using various filters, and you can actually get the same color level on each one if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
His light works differently in the back.
Supposedly it does, but they can't seem to prove it because they can't create a vacuum of that level. You can create a vacuum. Light bulbs have a vacuum in it, okay? But it just doesn't work because you can't burn anything in a vacuum first of all. So it's kind of hard to do that. They say it does, but they have yet to do it. Yep. Oh, yep.
That space, how do they know what the story is?
Oh, they make that up.
Yeah, why would they make up a number so outlandish?
The same way as they do trillions and trillions and trillions of miles. Because it boggles our mind and we say, oh, I don't want to see, you know what? I need to go pick up my kids. Okay? I got bills to pay. Yeah.
They make it so outlandish because our minds can't wrap around that. They're like, oh, we don't need to look into that.
Right. And the scientists know. I used to say that. I'm embarrassed to say. Yes. Yeah. Right. Exactly. The Terminator line, yeah. You're right. And in photography, that Terminator line is called a highlight and shadow transfer, where the highlight and shadow blend together to create that mid-tone. Anyone else? Yeah.
Video you showed of the Magic Galaxy. What speed would that be going compared to what would it look like if it was actually going as fast as it does?
You mean?
And, how the sun, everything's wobbling.
Oh yeah, it's let's see. Well, I forgot the speed because I know that the rotation of the Earth.
We should do a video showing how it would really look.
Oh yeah, it would be insane. But gravity takes care of that.
Yeah.
It's gravity, right?
Which you didn't
Yeah, I didn't get to that. Yeah.
Real quick, so there's
two theories actually that I know of about the moon. Either creating its own light and somehow creating its own crescent moons via its own light. That's one theory you can look up if you have it. The other theory is that there's like a dark moon, something
Another
covering it up
object.
that actually covers up. So those are two theories you can look up too.
Yeah.
My question is like, so the person who is going to challenge the concept of light fall off, they might just say, oh well, it's so much brighter. It's not bright that it's. How do you deal with that person? It just says it's so bright that it just doesn't have the light fall off at that distance. Or something.
No problem. Show me.
Okay. Yeah.
just like I said, perspective has nothing to do with corpuscular rays. No problem. How do you see that convergence without point of view? Okay, how do you see that? All right, but they can't prove it. Ergo, it is not true. All right, it's not real. It can't prove it. Anyone else? Yeah. Well, seeing it from here, you still have to go through the atmosphere, okay, in order to see that moon that's 239,000 miles away. So you still have that blanket of air to look through. So we're not looking for that. It's space. It's magical. I mean, there's really no way around it. You can just do whatever you want, you know. Harry Potter. Well, their reason for that is that it's such an extreme telephoto, you would end up taking a picture of somebody stuffing in their backyard. Okay? You would, and okay, they have a point there. If the lens is that powerful, yeah, you can't shoot the whole Earth. But still, they can't prove you can see trillions of miles away. It's just ridiculous.
Any other questions?
With the moon as a satellite thing, wouldn't satellites in front of the moon also?
You should see him passing from the moon constantly. You never do. Oh, by the way, when they said they saw the Sputnik, that everybody looked up and they saw Sputnik. You see the videos of Sputnik, okay, when it was rotating around the Earth. Sputnik was the size of a basketball. All right, and it was 250 miles high. Come on. Okay. And yet people were outside. There it is. Because the news said they could. So it worked in their brain.
I was driving when they said that there was time last year, I think it was, the year before this, the ISS. I remember I was driving from my parents to Beaver, where I live, and I looked up out my window as I'm driving. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you can see this light across the sky with the ISS. So I look it up, and it's like supposed to be like 3 football fields long or something at 300 or 400 miles. Something just utterly insane. I'm like, you wouldn't be able to see that. That's ridiculous.
No. But we have Uber sites.
Right. Yeah.
Personally, I think it's hundreds of miles high, not thousands, not even close. I don't think so. Because if you notice, if you're out in a field, no buildings are around, and if you yell as loud as you can, listen, you're going to hear an echo. It's faint, but you hear it. And I remember hearing this when I was a child. I said, wait a minute, that's not supposed to work. Okay, there are no buildings around. So I don't believe it's thousands of miles high. I think it's within the hundreds. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, guys.